patients definitely need a multidisciplinary team approach, and it involves usually the plastic surgeons, the neonatologists, the orthodontists, oral surgeons, speech therapists, ENT, genetic counselors, nurse, and social workers. So the best would be hospital setup, which would be safest for the patient care. Treating cleft lip and palate and craniofacial care usually starts from day one of the baby to a minimum of 18 to 21 years, post which it's going to be like, follow up and symptomatic treatments and all that. So definitely you need to have a good documentation and storage of records. So now, until and unless we are equipped with a wide knowledge about, growth and development of dentofacial structures and mechanics, it's tough to understand how to use orthodontic mechanics to modulate the growth and at the exact time. So it's always better. That is, the MDS followed with fellowship is a perfect combo. Undergrads treating cleft patient is a big no-no. I mean, out of experience. And so my journey, now coming up to my journey, this is totally personal journey. So, so my journey began again, September 2016. I decided, being a staff from Christian Medical College, I do have, provision where I can go for sabbatical leave or study leave. So I decided that I have to, because of seeing the number of patients that we see in CMC, the cleft and craniofacial patients, I decided I had to do something. I had to learn more, and I should never use my patients as, I can't learn on my patients without having enough knowledge. So, well, I began my quest or my journey towards looking up where else can I get my information from. So it began around in September 2016. I just started looking online for cleft programs in USA. So application date, somewhere it begins in November. So please do check the website. So I applied for all the programs that I just told you. So I just listed. And the good thing is all the US programs, they answer back. They always answer any inquiry that has been sent in. So please email. So I wrote a lot of emails, and then as I was looking into all the programs, I felt UMICH was the best because it had scholarship and it had stipend, which was good for me. But I know it was tough and it was not an easy journey. Well, again, and besides that, dreamers are achievers. Set your goals, right intentions, and miracles happen. So yes, I got a Skype interview from Michigan. This is the Skype interview that I got in, and then there was a campus interview where I was called in by the chair committee people, Dr. Steve Lash, Dr. Kim Berman, and Dr. Catherine Kelly, who was the program director. So well, I went in for the campus interview, and they already, so when I started the campus interview, they said they already had a fellow who was, in the waiting list because there was from the last year campus interview. And I guess, somewhere I felt, okay, fine. So I have nothing to lose. They already have a person. So I just be my best and just go with the flow. So that's what I did. And we also had a clinical case discussion by Dr. Steve Lash. I think he was very, very impressed, and he said I was very intelligent, and he gave like very good, he was very appreciative. So I guess that also built up my confidence. So this campus interview that I had began around 8 o'clock and it went on to 4 p.m. And I had to talk to almost 8 to 10 specialists, which involved all the team members. And by then, like for me, it was like, I felt I was like a parrot saying, I'm Dr. Soumya from India. And, the same thing again, but understanding that for them, they were seeing me for the first time. So I think, when we are having any kind of campus interview, it's very important to be very patient and perseverance, which is very important because 8 o'clock you start, but you're seeing different people of the team and everybody is going to make an impression of you. So you can't get tired by 1 o'clock and say, oh my God, I'm done. No, that will not work. So that same energy that you had at 8 o'clock, you have to try to retain to 4 o'clock because yes, they are seeing us for the first time. So, well, it was a tiring day, but I somehow managed to be done with it because anyways, in my mind, I thought, okay, I'm not getting selected. I'm just going to be my best. That's about it. It was done. I came back. I met all my cousins. I met my sister in US. I had fun time. So I was just relaxing. I thought, okay, I'm just getting back to India. I'm done with my fellowship campus interview that I came for. And well, for my surprise, I had a message from Dr. Kelly, which says that she wanted to have a happy conversation with me, and I was invited to start the fellowship program in July. I couldn't believe myself. So well, then it was just a matter of a day or two. They sent me my letter and they said, if you are okay with all this, please accept, and send the acceptance letter. So this letter also said that I was getting, I was getting a stipend, and also was allowed to go and train myself at New York for the NAMB workshop under Dr. Barry Grayson. And also my travel expenses for ACPA was covered, the annual meeting and all that. So yes, it was great. I was excited, super excited, and I agreed. And this is actually the dental building at University of Michigan. And on the right-hand side, you can see this is the ortho school where we enter into the building. And yeah, this was my card. When I went in there, I was excited to walk into Graeber Hall, to walk into, Moyers. And it's like reliving all the names that we have read in our books. So, well, the very important thing in the fellowship program is we are supposed to have logbooks. We are supposed to have everything is documented. We'll have a Google Calendar. Every day-to-day work is to be recorded. So in a logbook, like you can see, every day from the day I started my fellowship program, which was on July 1st, and I officially got in on July 5th. So we had like, so I had to get in the access. Then there were like advanced education orientation program that was happening. Dr. Lucia Sevadanis was taking our cephalometric classes. I had to enroll myself to all the classes that the third year grad students were doing. So I had to redo a little bit of my, PG course. So I was taught how to do photography class by Dr. Adams. Then we were supposed to learn how to do even impression making and pouring the models and all that. And I had to redo my CPR certification. We had to do biomechanic classes. So yes, the first 1 or 2 months gets into just trying to understand what is happening in their school of, orthodontic schools. So which is very important for a fellow, because a fellow is usually a bridge between the program director and the third year or the final year grad students, orthodontic students. So these were the final year grad students who were amazing. And I think they were all like my friends, though there was a way, I think if you see grad students in abroad, they are much, wiser or older, I would say, because the way they get into dental school is not as we get in, not after 12th grade when you get into dental school. They really have to, they either do their PhDs after they, undergrad, and do the PhD and then get into, the masters, or they do some kind of research, or they do some kind of medical sciences and all that. So it's a long journey, and they have real debt on, they really work very hard. So yeah, I mingled with all the third year grad students. We had fun. We had to do the AAO. We were a part of all the conferences that were to be held, because Michigan hosts a lot of AAO conferences, like for the grad students. So this is our, every day we would have, classes, which would be lunch on classes, coffee and classes. And this was nostalgic days. This is Dr. Chris Roberts, who is the president of American Association of Orthodontics. On the right-hand side, you have Fan Liang, and she was my co-fellow, who, so the fellowship student who is an orthodontist and the plastic surgeon fellow student work together. So basically in this University of Michigan, the fellowship, it's multitasking. So I am working with the undergrad, I'm working with the grad students. I'm taking undergrad classes. I also have to work for University of Michigan Hospital. I also have to work for Mott's Children's Hospital with plastic surgeon. University of Michigan Hospital, I work for the oral surgeons, and in the clinic, orthodontic clinic, with the pioneers orthodontists, where Dr. McNamara would just walk in. So this was my cabin where I used to see all my ortho, cleft, and cleft patients, craniofacial patients, or special care need patients. And this on the right hand side is my, the lab area, our lab area, where all of us would work. So that's Dr. Catherine Kelly working on the distractor appliance. That's an intraoral appliance which we're working on for a patient. This is the University of Michigan Hospital. And this is Mott's Children's Hospital setup where as a fellow, we have to scrub in and assist a lot of patients. We have to assist patients with undergoing rhinoplasty of cleft repair, palate repair, lip repair, everything. That's because I think the fellowship here wants a fellow to understand even the surgical aspect. So we need to understand that when we are trying to expand in a cleft patient, what has the child dealt with when she was 1.5 years old, how the muscles were stretched, how it was operated. Now, what are you going to do, later on? So I guess it gives you an overall picture. So that this fellowship gives us an overall picture. So that was it. And every Wednesday we had a team meet with Dr. Steve Lash and Dr. Catherine Kelly, which we would lunch on. And I would go into the team, which meets every Wednesday, and it is headed by one of the plastic surgeons, usually Dr. Workler, Dr. Buckman, or Dr. Caston. And they have a list of all the patients that usually about 15 to 17 patients on a Wednesday. And Wednesday morning, usually at 8 or 9 o'clock, we meet, and we have we discuss one patient which is treated in the orthodontic clinic with the graduate student. One paper presentation is done. Then we go to the Mott's Children's Hospital, wherein we look into all these patients who have come in that day. So social worker and the nurse make sure all the patients come in on Wednesday team meet, and every team member, from the plastic surgeon to the ENT and speech pathologist and the genetic counselor, everybody meets with these patients on a Wednesday, which goes on rotation. We meet all the patients, we give our instructions and all that. And then the team meets around 2:30 based on once everybody has done seeing all the patients for that day. So this is the team which is headed by Dr. Buckman, and all of us, like we have the nurse, then we have the social coordinator, we have the oral surgeons, we have the fellows, we have a neurosurgeon also. There was, for distraction cases, usually neurosurgeons also come in. So so that was our team meet, and it was great, meeting the team every Wednesday. And then we also deal with cleft patients. So in cleft patients, we get to see, first basic, you get to first, actually see the child when she comes in, and then they make this is actually where the impression, was made, or we're just adjusting the NAM. So there are a mixed population of patients in this fellowship that we see. It's not just cleft, it's a lot of craniofacial, it's a lot of special care need patients too. So we kind of see all TESS classifications, you can name it, are seen there. Then we also see a lot of Pierre-Robinson syndrome and all kind of syndrome patients are treated there. And I always, I have a Wednesday and a Friday slot wherein Dr. Kelly comes in. Wednesday is for the team, and Friday is just for orthodontic clinic, where ortho work is done in the, in our ortho grad clinic. So the rest of the days, that's a Monday, a Tuesday, and on a Thursday, I am supposed to go to University of Michigan Hospital and Mott's Hospital and assist and scrub in and assist the oral surgeons and the plastic surgeons to understand basically, and also help them to remove the expanders if the patient has come in with the expander, or like in distraction cases, I had to put in the intraoral appliances for the distractor. So this is Dr. Sean Edward, who was our oral surgeon and an amazing person, the fastest. He would always time his surgeries. He would begin a surgery, and there were these fellows who would say he would finish it within 20 minutes and 30 minutes. It was elated situation in the OT when working with Dr. Sean Edward. So this was another part where I used to do this for plastic surgeons. So in the fellowship program, the oral surgeon used to do internal distraction plastic surgeon used to do external distraction. So this is a plastic surgeon. When they used to do external distractor, I would go in and we would put in the intraoral component for on the table for the patient, and then assist for the surgery too, to understand how they put in the extraoral screws, because the screws are adjusted by the orthodontist post a few days. So then after doing all my work at the university hospital and at the Moss Children's Hospital, I would come back to our clinic to do all our work like plaster work and all that. And often Dr. McNamara would walk in, and who used to be like our co-colleague, and give us, and, you know, he was just make the whole, you know, the stress or something. He would just say a joke and we would all laugh and then just get back to work. So this thing, and then during the program itself, I was supposed to attend the NAM program by Dr. Barry Grayson, which was in New York. So I traveled there. So there were a lot many other, you know, so for Dr. Barry Grayson's program also has undergrad, like post BDS, there are students who come and learn nasolabial molding, and they do. So this is Dr. Barry Grayson for you. I hope you can hear it.
So soft surface is placed on the ground. The mom sits down, and I think she is basically buttressing herself against the wall. She just gets a comfortable support from the wall. The baby is placed on the soft surface on the floor. The head of the baby is against the mom. She puts her hands, the child's hands, under the baby's side, and she secures the baby in position. Okay.
So this is just a gist about, you know, about Dr. Barry Grayson, who was really, really down to earth, and who shared lunch on with us, and, you know, all our whatever questions or queries we had about NAM technique. And because in US, not everybody follows NAM technique. There are pro NAM, there are people who do not believe in NAM technique. So UMICH, we were not for NAM. So I had a lot of doubts when I went into Dr. Barry Grayson's classes. So I think he was very, very, very patient with all of us and answered all the questions we had. And he definitely said he was doing this because New York patients, definitely aesthetics was the most important thing. And also it was not money for them. And again, plastic surgeon wanted them to, you know, work for them. So I think in NYU here, the actual clinic itself, if you see, there is the plastic surgeons and orthodontics. So the hospital by itself is somewhere else, but this clinic is associated, the orthodontic clinic, with the plastic surgeon. So we basically are working. So NAM is basically trying to do so that the plastic surgeons have their job easier. So that was one thing. So again, back in University of Michigan, it was again divided NAM technique. So plastic surgeons wanted it, orthodontists were not really keen on it, and oral surgeons were okay with it. So for the fellow, it was I think we got various perspectives. So it was not like everything was not straightforward. We had to like actually, you know, learn from everybody's experiences and what their beliefs was. And well, it was by all this, by the time I finished my NAM and all that course and I got back, it was Christmas time. And these are the 3 grad year students, the first year, second year, and the final year. We send in Christmas cards. So it was a great. So I think at University of Michigan is just not about work. It is a lot of work, but you also have, you know, some kind of fun and thrown in here and there. We have a lot of pictures taken. And this is University of Michigan campus area. That's our bus. And again, I go back to hospitals, helping or scrubbing for, you know, cleft lip repair or, you know, that kind of thing. And also at University of Michigan, we have a lot of international doctors who come in. And this is Dr. Daniel Gabriel, who had come in from Israel. And they do a kind of observation for about a week. And as a fellow student, again, we get to spend time with a lot of international observers. So this is a little bit of Michigan. I just want to show you how Michigan campus is. This is amazing. This is my, you know, the way I used to take every day to walk back to my home. So again, like I told you, like a fellow student, again works with third-year grad students. So I had to be a part of research. So this was Dr. Scott on the right-hand side. So he was doing research about how to use virtual imaging, for educational purpose. Dr. Kim Berman was her mentor and his mentor or guide. So I also was a part of it, and I tried to go in there and see what's actually happening, how 3D imaging is done, and how they process all that. So this was, along with that, there's a lot of educational activity that is happening at UMICH, and a fellow gets to attend all of them. So we had one was a Moyer symposium, which was happening, and the topic was about sleep apnea. So on the right hand side, you can see Dr. Catherine Kelly, Dr. Nan Hatch, who is the present chair of School of Dentistry at UMICH, and on my left is Dr. Hader, who was my previous fellow, and next to Dr. Nan Hatch is Dr. Marilia, who was the present fellow, that is 2017-18 fellow. So along, like I told you, the fellow also gets to attend the ACPA, which was, so during my time, it was at the Colorado Springs. So I went in, it was amazing again. So this was just another, I don't know if this has a video. Well,
I think there would be, yes, yeah, here, yes.
I just want to show you the Colorado Springs, which is beautiful. I think the venues are also like really amazing. And so there, when you go to the ACPA, you get to meet very, very motivated and very interested team members. This is Dr. Stephanie Mons, who is a prosthodontist, and who was a cleft patient herself, a treated cleft patient herself. So you get to hear a lot of stories, and I think going to ACPA actually motivates all of us, and there's so much of knowledge which has been shared by all the team members. Like even from the nurses, there are so many people, the team members, all of them come in, and there are a lot of study groups that's happening, and you can attend whatever you're interested in. So yeah, ACPA is a must. I mean, if anybody interested in cleft and craniofacial, please attend ACPA, at least for the to understand what's happening. So again, coming back, we had to do a lot of distractors. So I can't name it, I've been a part of so many distractor appliances which we gave in. So yeah, this is again another patient which we gave an external distraction for. So this is the Mott's Children's Hospital. And every 6 months we get graded. So being an Indian, I always used to put that up on your God and pray that I'd really do well and all that. And I got good grades again. So I guess working hard really pays off. So at the end of it, I think there was a 30-second Jaraback lecture also. We get to be a part of everything that's happening there. So it was John Morton who was a speaker for this, and he was the one who introduced biomechanics, the biomechanical principles into orthodontics too. So he collaborated with Invisalign, and he came up to us and he was talking about how they have collaborated and how Invisalign is the future of orthodontics. So well, we were all trained to do that too. So yeah, this was my journey. So during this journey, I also had to write an abstract for ACPA. So I wrote a case report, and we also have to have a research topic. So I did a distraction osteogenesis protocol, University of Michigan protocol, which I came up with. I think I can share this for sure. I mean, if somebody is interested with doing distraction osteogenesis and all that, I will be very happy to share it. But that's a University of Michigan protocol, which I formulated it along with Dr. Buckman and Dr. Catherine Kelly and Sean Edward, who was our oral surgeon. So all this, and then that was the day where I was getting graduated, and I got graduated along with the third-year grad students. And seeing my picture there, I was super elated. And that's a few pictures with Dr. Kelly, Dr. Lash, and their partners, and Dr. McNamara, who has always been there for all of us. And yes, they missed me. I missed them more too. And then I came back to India. I was super, super excited. That was my journey. And this was what I got at the end of my 1-year fellowship program, which I didn't know I would get in, but when I got it, I felt I was living my dream. I took a month to get accustomed to all that. And well, the rest is now a history. It's been 3 years. And thank you for listening to my journey. I would wish all of them all the best, all the viewers all the best. May all your dreams come true.
Thank you so much for such an insight into your journey, which like we felt like as if we are just reliving your journey and we are taking the journey from the India to that place. And it was really inspiring, and it must be very inspiring to the youngsters who are listening to this. Today we have a panelist on your request. We have Dr. A.V. Arun and we have Dr. Bhagya Lakshmi. Both of them are here as a panelist. I would just tell them to have few words. Dr. Bhagya and Dr. Arun. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, can you see me now?
No, you must be sitting in a dark room.
No, I'm in a very bright room, but something wrong with my cam, I think.
No problem.
Yeah, that's
no
okay.
Problem.
So thank you very much, Dr. Ajay Kumar, for inviting me for the lecture, and Dr. Soumya for sharing the experiences of Michigan with us. Now, Soumya was my MDS student at Savita Dental College, and she was posted directly under me. She was a postgraduate under me, and she was extremely innovative and always interested in doing something new. And I had the same thing. We used to, so when she works with me, more than half a case used to have springs and mechanics which are totally different, and we used to call it mom. Okay, she used to come and say, "Sir, I have a mom case. Mom is my own mechanics." Okay, and I used to tell her, do whatever you want, just prove to me biomechanically that everything is all right. Okay, prove, we work out your biomechanics, convince us it's good. And she used to do so many innovative things when she was a postgraduate itself. Soumya, to what I know, she's a specialist in two things. One is craniofacial orthodontics, where she has done a lot of work in CMC Vellore. And another thing which most of you don't know is she's a specialist in buying expensive purses. Any expensive purse anywhere in the world, any company, she'll probably have it with her in her house. And the worst part of it is she takes my wife along with her.
Yeah.
Both the Aruns, both the Aruns get bankrupt in a single day. Because she's Soumya, her husband is Arun, and I'm the other Arun, and both the wives, go out spending it.
I saw you guys. I saw you guys. Buying at most expensive shops at Turkey at
Exactly, in Istanbul.
Istanbul at that which square it was? Taksim Square.
That's exactly.
Right.
So other than that, she has a very good, very enthusiastic person, always wanting to learn something. Okay, and when she finished MDS at Savita, she got directly into CMC Vellore. CMC Vellore is a very prestigious institution. It's very difficult to get inside there. And I think only after she was in CMC Vellore, she got an invite to go to Michigan. And she's done, even now when she's come back, she's doing a lot of excellent work on craniofacial orthodontics. The only thing is, she's still lazy. Very lazy.
Only teacher has this guts to say in front of.
I know only my guide can say it, because he definitely wants me to present and talk about it.
He wants to remind you that he is still a teacher.
Exactly. I still have to wax her at the back, to make her publish one article. There's so many good work she's done, but nothing comes out. That's a problem. That's why people don't really know about her.
Now you have said it on a public forum. She will definitely get inspired to publish a lot of articles. I'm sure.
And she would be inspired for next 24 hours, and then she sleeps again.
No, but
Thank you. A wonderful presentation, and it was good to see you again after quite some time.
Thank you.
And just continue your good work there.
Thank you. Thank you, Arun. Dr. Bhagya Lakshmi, can you hear us?
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr.
Yeah.
Nabila.
Hi, Soumya. Good
Hi.
morning. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. It was really, really, really good. I always say that, everyone or orthodontist, everyone has that MDS degree, but we need to stand out, and you have exactly shown most of the attendees here what is the path now they have to take. It was really good, very informative, and I have to say congratulations to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhagyalakshmi.
Thank you, sir.
We have a lot of participants, and they would have some questions also. Can we take few questions, Dr. Soumya?
Sure, sir.
Okay. Let me just go back to the question. Okay. Somebody is asking if one is interested to continue working there, is it possible with the fellowship?
It is. So in fact, after when I was doing my fellowship, Dr. Catherine Kelly did ask me if I wanted to stay back. And my husband was like, no, she has a family and I had to come back and all that. But yes, it is possible after doing fellowship, you can stay back at the university. So you can become the clinical assistant professor post they would give in, and you will be a part of training the fellow, because Dr. Kelly wanted to upgrade herself, and she had a lot more commitments, and she wanted somebody to look after the entire program itself too. So yes, I was also offered, but yeah.
Okay.
Family.
Yeah, thank you. Next question is, happy noon, ma'am. Can you tell us any such program in countries like India, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and what's the duration of the course? I think she told that India it is 24 months.
Yes, 2 years.
Okay. Australia, I had been to. University of Adelaide for 1 month.
Yeah.
They do have a program, but that program is not affiliated with the dental school or with the orthodontic department, but they have that program along with the women's and children's hospital. Most of the times I have seen in those countries that Cleft will not be a part. I'm talking about the Commonwealth countries. US is a little different, where this department doesn't come under the orthodontics. They have a separate section of orthodontics at women's and children's hospital. So most of the operations like surgery, orthodontics, prosthodontics, everything will be done at women's and children hospital. They do have such fellowship at Australia, and the duration is 24 months as well. I'm not aware about New Zealand. Dr. Soumya must be aware about it or not. I don't know.
No, sir. But I think that is why again UMICH is great, sir, because UMICH gives you a total different perspective. Like you are working for 3 different like you're working for oral surgeons at University Michigan Hospital, then you're working at Children's Hospital under plastic surgeons, then you work for orthodontists. Like we work all the orthodontic team, grad, undergrad students. I think that itself gives you a whole picture, sir. Like having just one, like when you have a picture, if you just have one viewpoint, it's not that easy to understand.
It's a 360 degree. It's a 360 degree.
I think UMICH gives you that. UMICH really gives you that. I think that's why I feel that fellowship was an eye opener for me to understand, like from day one to what I should envisage in a larger picture.
Okay. And do you become ACPA member by default after that, or you have?
I mean, I was a ACPA member. We have to be a AO members. We become all that WFM members because it's a part of our program. But after that, you have to subscribe. Like every year, you have to just
that is
payment. That's about it. So otherwise, yes, I was a AO member, a WFO, ACPA member, because we are supposed to present something there. So
okay. There's a question from Dr. Hemadri Srirangam. In India, which college is offering CLCP fellow program for orthodontics? I think AIMS. AIMS is offering.
Only AIMS.
They call it CDER.
Okay, so CDER.
Right?
Yeah.
Dr. Bhagyalakshmi is aware about it, I think.
It's a 2-year program, sir. Cleft program, basically. I think this is more to deal with the cleft and craniofacial. So if you see at UMICH, it's craniofacial and special canid orthodontics. Cleft is just a part of it, but we saw a lot of cleft patients because based on the population. But yeah.
Okay. There's a question from Dr. Sakti Kumar. Is there any other fellowship in other branches like maxillofacial prosthesis rehabilitation?
Yes, in UMICH there was Dr. like I showed you one, Dr. Stephanie Munz. So she was definitely doing. But again, for oral surgeons, like if you say the Indian degree is not valid. So international students are not allowed to go for like surgeons.
Probably prosthodontist can apply for it.
Prosthodontist, maybe, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just ask you the other questions which I have. Like, how was your journey, as in when it comes to adapting to, like, the system? Because I went to Adelaide. Dr. Arun was there. He's there also. It was quite different. What do you say, Arun? It was initial few days. It was like completely different. They have a classroom which is on the middle of the road, and they have a glasses which is open, and while attending the class you can see the main road, tram going, and you can sit in the class, you can sit in the cafe, you can sit anywhere.
Absolutely casual atmosphere.
Yes, so it was difficult for us. We also at this age we took little time to understand this. Probably we are from India and we have a very strict kind of education system. So was it difficult initially? Or I know the US, they are very, very friendly. They make sure that you are at ease.
Yes, they are friendly, but again, sir, like to say, like when I was working, I have to work with a fellow from plastic surgeon, and she was a Harvard graduate. So and they are like, they work 24/7. So I guess it's very important whenever you go to any other program or any other country. It's very important to understand that there will be a lot of discrimination. There will be a lot of stuff that's going to happen. So you have to be very confident. You have to be like I don't know. I think I guess you have to be very confident. You just have to be bold and just gel with everybody. Be very social. Actually, don't get involved in too many things. There are a lot of things happening, like there's a front desk.
Very, very true.
So you need to maintain your, I feel, the way you think, you need to put that forward and very, don't get involved in too many things. That's what I would say. Like, because we had so many people I had to deal with. Everybody had different things. If you confuse their, what happened, you're not allowed to tell the oral surgeons the plastic surgeon's treatment perspective. There are certain things that they don't want, they don't, all that. So you got to just be, you're there to learn, and you learn from everybody. You have to be confident, and you just have to gel. I think I am basically like Arun sir. I'm a very social person. So I love people, and I love making friends. I make friends like this. So for me, it was like grad or even like staff and all. I would just talk, and I think that's very important too. So you just have to gel and mingle. And be spontaneous, understand what is required of you. I think that's very, very important. Be a learner every day, and take each day as it comes. Don't carry over what happened yesterday. Yesterday's politics done and dusted. What is it today? So it's about every day. Take each day, put a smile on your face and deal with it. And that was very important, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Arun, please go ahead.
Yeah. Now, Michigan, the university is a very reputed university with a lot of history. So how open are they to suggestions in the treatment plan, discussions from outside, from people who are outside, like yourself? Are they?
I know why you're asking this question, Arun.
Yes, I know. There are a lot of discussions in Australia and Adelaide University, and matter of fact, the first two case discussions were 2 versus 22. Two of
with
us,
all due respect.
Yes, for me, I think the way I think, sir, like very logistically, I put in a lot of practicality. I think a lot before I actually tell my treatment plan or anything. But I don't know. So I'm your student. They thought I was very intelligent, and whatever suggestions were given, they were always open to my ideas. I think I was blessed that way. I don't know. I never had there was never a conflict kind of thing. Whenever I would discuss anything, they were open to my ideas, and they actually would take in. And I did all my treatment myself, like all the orthodontic special care need patients and all that, I would do the ortho. And Dr. Kelly was very confident about me, and Dr. Steve Lash used to like my work.
Arun, probably that happened because there are two school of thoughts. Like we've been trained initially in Australian school of thought with the bag appliances,
Yes,
and
yes.
later on we switched over drastically, over the American school of
Yes,
thoughts.
yes.
In between, this people have, where we went, they had a Commonwealth school of thought where many of the treatment for youngsters till certain age is free,
I know.
and there were few orthodontists, and because of that, their treatment planning would have been dictated by a lot of factors, unlike India where we have orthodontists at every corner of the city and every corner of the street, right? So probably they were also correct in their way, but somewhere it was rationally not acceptable to us. What do you say, Dr. Ram?
Exactly. No, I think they are very nervous taking the legal system, and person can sue you. So the risk taking, the chance of taking risks and doing, for example, disimpacting and impacted tooth itself was next to, which they don't take up at all. So cases like that, they were probably, sometimes I feel that the education we get here is, more open. You get more choices. You get to do a lot of more things than somewhere like Australia where we went, where we saw that the treatment planning wasn't as open as what we do. And the procedures done was very, very restricted.
Yeah, because as you said, there are more chances of medical legal things. So
Yeah.
they always make sure that it is evidence based.
And also,
Right.
it depends on, I think, so like for me, it was a year-long program. And initially, I was trained to think like them. Like, I was given photography classes. I was supposed to take the AAO, taking all the,
ABO
records based on their
guidelines.
thing. Yeah, the first 2 months goes in all this. They train us. And then they allow us to think. Then we're allowed to sit in all the classes which were taken by Dr. Chris Roberts, then biomechanics or Dr. Lily Johnston. He was talking about all radiography, all sets and all that. So once you start hearing all that, you just get tuned, I guess. So because it's a year-long program, by the time I'm making decisions for the patients, I'm already gelled into their way of thinking. So I guess if you're going for
Agreed.
weeks or months or for a month or for a week, it's about you have a perspective and they have a perspective and you're like actually sitting there and talking about it. But here you are allowed to gel into their, I think that was the difference. I don't know.
That's good. Okay, we have one more question came in from Dr. Ajit Parihar. Is there any fees for the fellowship program?
So all the fellowship programs there, like Ohio and even at California, I think. So they all have $55,000 ranging. That's what I said, 40 to 55 $1,000. But for me at University of Michigan, it is about 40 to 60 grand, somewhere around 55, I would say. But they also have a scholarship program. So the scholarship program is actually, this is one of a patient who was treated by Dr. Kathleen Kelly, and they were so happy with her that they funded this program. So initially it was not. So it was funded by them. So we actually, so there are so many things in this presentation that I couldn't show. I had a lot more, but we have to meet them, the people who funded us, and they talk about how their journey. And we share our experience and all. Yeah, so it is a funded program. So to get that scholarship is not easy. That's why UMICH, it's not that easy to get in until and unless, I don't know what they are looking at, because it's international. So all of them are from different countries. They're looking at something that clicks. Because like I told you, when I went in for the interview, they had already had a previous person selected. So, but I guess they still make decisions, and I was taken and all that. But so I guess it's
okay. Dr. Soumya, what about you were staying in the campus, or you made a provision of staying somewhere else? Do they give you any assistance in stay also for this 1 year?
They do, so it's stipend. So living, we have to do it on our own. But then there are a lot of provision. There's a lot of provision because university campus, if you see, Annaba is a beautiful campus which has undergrad students and all. There's a lot of options available from way down $400 to thousands of dollars. Like Dr.
Is it in the downtown?
So downtown, yes. But it's up to us to choose what kind of living that you want. You want to share with the undergrads, which would just cost you $300 to $400. You're paid I was paid like $1,700 per month, almost 1,600. It was 1,400, but there was some issue with something, and they paid me a little more. And the taxes they were taking care of. So it changes, but now they're a little more different. I think it's 1,400, but I was paid a little more, and so it's a lot of money, sir. I think you can happily live and make your savings also, and it was good for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You can live from $300 to $1,000.
Ajay, one thing,
Yeah, Arun, please.
Is the scholarship available for all those who get their fellowship, or only you are lucky enough to get it?
No, sir. This is a scholarship stipend program. Because like I told you, it was not a scholarship program, but one of the patient has funded this. Now, suppose, so we are graded every 3 months and 6 months. And if you're not good, they might not actually fund you more. I mean, that's never happened. But my previous fellow, I don't know if I can say, but my previous fellow or a year before that, not Heather, before that, there was one person who had come in as a fellow, and he was, I don't know what was the thing, but he had to discontinue. So he could only stay for 3 months. So it's not like you get into the program and whatever it is, they retain you. No, if you're not good, even after 3 months, they say they just let you go.
And for the benefit of the viewers here, could you tell them, how do you actually apply for these things, and what are the percentage of chances that a person gets selected for fellowship if he applies for fellowship?
Like you just have to go to the ACPA website and look for educational fellowship programs, sir. So you can look into all the ACPA accredited programs, and you can go in. I think in my first slide, I've told them that go in and send emails, just apply. I randomly applied for all. Then you look in and see what is best for you. There are certain people who can afford to pay $40,000 to $50,000. I didn't want to.
But maybe some money, what else are they looking at? Because so many people are applying there. What gets you one stage ahead of all these people?
That's what I said. I don't know what they think. I just got
Arun, it's like getting a US visa.
No. You don't know why they select and you don't know why they select you.
I think, like I told you, sir, when I went through the interview, like they had a Skype interview, and they called me for the campus interview. In the morning itself, Dr. Kelly was telling you already had a student. So so it depends on how you go through the interview. That's very, very important. So for US people, it's usually your first impression. So when I went there, I think when she told me that, there are 2 things that I could do. One, be like, oh God, anyways, it's done. So why even be interested? I could have just been lazy or whatever. I would have just been like, yeah, whatever, not put my 100%. And I would have definitely not got it. And I would have had reasons saying that anyways, they had selected another person. That's why I didn't get it. It's not that I'm good or bad. So that would be that. But for me, I took it the other way. I thought, anyways, they already have a person. I'll give it my best. I'll be very genuine why I need it. I think the purpose for what I wanted to do the fellowship was very genuine. For me, it was not sir, I'm not always behind name or fame or money. I'm never behind that. For me, it's about knowledge. It's about also the patient care. Like when I was working at CMC, it's about service. So even when I, for me, it was like, I understood there were so many patients, and though you read books, that's not sufficient. So I wanted to learn a lot, but I didn't want to use my patients as guinea pigs here. I didn't want to just learn like that. I wanted to get knowledge from pioneers in this field. So when I went there also, I was very genuine, and I told them why I wanted this fellowship. And I guess just having your heart in the right place and trying to tell them why you want to do this fellowship. Now, if you're going to say, I am one person, I want to get all the fellowships in this world, that's why I've applied, you're not going to get selected. And if you're going to say, I'm here because I want to have an understanding of US fellowship, they're not going to give it to you. So until unless you have a right or a genuine reason or a right reason which connects with them, they're looking for somebody who will take care of their patients. Are you willing to give your 100% for those patients, like really work hard? So they're looking for something like that. And you need to be so there are many things happening there, sir. So they're going to see what kind of a person you're going to be with all of them. So like I told you, my interview was from 8 to 4 o'clock. Believe me, sir, the same energy I had when I started at 8 o'clock, when I saw the last chairperson, I was that much more, that I was still, I told my passion or my dream or my vision for this fellowship and about myself with the same enthusiasm and with the same, whatever, like with the same kind of feeling to each one of them. I was not different, I think I really had my vision clear. So it was easier for me to connect with each person in the team, and each person felt that connect with me. So that's important also, maybe, sir. So
what was the part of that meeting? Like, was it a questions, or
yes,
was it
yes,
you had to present something?
No, so you have different differences. So first, when I met Dr. Kim Berman and the previous fellow Heather, they were just asking me about the instrumentations and what kind of instruments we use. It's basic about orthodontics and all. I had a clinical viva with Dr. Steve Lash, and he showed me different patient, OPGs and all that stuff, and asked me for my treatment plan. So when I told him the treatment plan and different ways of thing, then he got up in the panel and he said, she is intelligent, she's the one. You should get her in. So I don't know, that was my second thing. So when he said that, I got a little more confident. I thought, okay, maybe I'm good. I'm not that bad. So that's also important. I don't know, sir. Maybe God was working through, I really don't know what it was. I'm not the gold medalist. I'm not the super brain of any orthodontist. But I think it just worked it worked for me, everything was going in the right way. When I met Dr. Kim Berman, she was very impressed with me. When Dr. Steve Lash saw me, I think I should give all my clinical, all my innovative, all that to Dr. A.V. Arun, who always said, don't even read books. Don't even tell me this, like if we come up with any kind of intrusion, sir, can we use this person or that person? He said, can't you do your own? Go back, read your basics. What is the wire made of? What is the thickness? And he would tell me about the coils and everything. So we had to do mom techniques. That was his thing. So I guess initially sir trained us like that. He trained us to be very practical. He told us, like, I don't want you to know every foot and shoe principle, this name, that name. I'm not interested. I'm interested in how will you treat your patient, like, and how quick. So I always owe this to him. I've always told him that. Like, he would teach us, like, if I'm banding, he would tell me, learn a technique. Don't think about banding. Like, the band, that wire, that thing. I would do banding in, like, it was like kind of George. Me and my co-PG, Anu, we used to compete with each other that we band in so many seconds and all that. But we had to learn techniques. That's what sir used to always tell. So very practical, and take each patient as one. Don't just take all knowledge and put it on one person. Don't get confused. So each patient. So even when I went there, I was it was very easy for me when he told me about canine and all that. I had my practical view of it. And I think that's what they look at. They don't want us to be confused, or they don't want us to say, give too many treatment plans and to say this will work, that will work. I don't know. Like, I guess Dr. Steve Lash, when I was talking about all the concepts, he kind of felt that was more important. So yeah, I think.
Okay.
And
Ajay,
one question here.
Yeah.
So you have seen so many new treatment protocols and patient care protocols which were taught to you in Ann Arbor University.
Yes.
Now coming back to CMC Vellore, how much are you able to follow what you have been doing in Michigan? Are you able to maintain the same standards here at CMC Vellore?
Yeah, definitely, sir. So that is another thing about CMC. So CMC is also we are allowed to get all the instrumentation or whatever we need, and and also the patient flow is what is more important. So you can't do all the treatment. You can learn everything. If you don't have the pool of patients, you can't just use it. So for me, yes, we do have the patient pool. So definitely I use all that was taught there. And I guess I'm more confident. See, definitely, we do know all these treatment plans. So when we're doing our masters, we do know a little bit of all this. But are you confident in doing all that? I don't know if I was confident. But now after the fellowship, I am confident. I know, yes, for this patient, this is what I'm going to do. So I guess that is what fellowship gave me also. And I'm allowed to use, I am doing a lot of stuff, what I've learned from Michigan. Like we have started our Cleft team with the plastic surgeons here in CMC Vellore, which is headed by Dr. Kingsley Paul and myself. And we have the entire team, neonates. We have the entire team too. So yes, we do have our team module here, which I got in after I came back. So I started that.
Okay. When you apply, do you have to show your cases, or you have to upload anything, or you just have to fill up the form with your credentials and you are good to go?
Yes, sir. So there are all the requirements which is put on the website. It's just transcripts. You have to give all your transcripts, your letters. There are 3 letters. They usually want it from orthodontist, and like for me it was if you take it from 2 orthodontists, and 1 should be from the place of work, so that they don't want to have any conflict where all that stuff. That's about it. The basic thing is the interview, and yes sir, that's it. No case presentations and all that.
Okay.
Transcripts.
Yeah, one more important question. Like as we went to Australia, we were really surprised to see their teaching methodology, as well as the resources for reading. They don't have a library. They didn't have any physical books. They did not have any journals, because everything was online and everything is digital there. So how is it in Ann Arbor?
So UMICH is the it's the oldest.
No, so they still believe in a physical resources.
We have physical books. So I showed you one of the classrooms where classes were taken. So they have a lot of journals, but yes, they are moving towards digital. So even the professors there, they love the smell of the book, holding the book and all that. That nostalgia they also have. They don't want to let go of all that, but it is turning digital for sure. But we still have a lot of journals and books also available. Like Dr. Berkowitz. So when I was when I was there, Dr. Berkowitz handed over all his study material to UMICH, but they didn't want to take it because there's no place to store. He wanted to give away all his cars, so many things that he wanted, and we could talk to him. He was a part of this program too, sir. Like he would.
You could have made a space at Vellore.
Yeah, I thought so. Like even Dr. Kelly did ask, but imagine getting all that here.
I know.
Like we could.
It becomes a very big problem nowadays, because even at Adelaide University, that was supposed to be housing the big museum. Okay, Mike was the first professor there for orthodontics, and his entire clinic was actually remade and kept inside the university. But unfortunately, due to lack of space, the entire museum has been dismantled and it's in boxes, only for reason of space. Matter of fact, the orthodontic department asked us, who came as visiting fellows, to write a letter to the ministry asking them to put back the museum, because it's a very historic museum, but unfortunately space. And like you said, even books, they are not keeping books there, only space, because they don't have a separate room for a library at the university. Yeah.
Thank you for such an insight, and I would definitely, I'm really sure that many of the applications would go this year to ACPA fellowship, just because of your lecture and giving such a great insight into this. And thank you, my panelists, Dr. Bhagyalakshmi, Dr. Arun, and above all, thank you, Dr. Soumya, for sparing time. And thanks to your son, Arya, who helped you as well. All right.
And have a good. I also would want to take this opportunity to promise Dr. A.V. Arun, I will come up with more papers. I will try to publish my work, because I am busy with a lot of clinical work and all that. But I will make 2021 at least. I'll put in and get in more I would want to get in more papers which are useful for the society. So I just don't want to publish something, just for putting my name here and there. So now I am supposed to do it because yes, like all of us know, we need promotions. I don't want that and this to be, let me finish in there. And
see,
then
Soumya, yeah, this is what teachers know, how to instigate the student.
Yeah, I promise I will.
And before we conclude, let me just wish Happy Mother's Day to all wonderful moms of the group. And before I end, let me just tell you about tomorrow's lecture. Tomorrow's lecture is from very eminent orthodontist from Portugal, and he is doing exclusive Invisalign practice since many years. And his name is Dr. Pedro Monta, and he would be speaking on clean check in your aligner cases. It would be at 7 p.m. evening. More details I would share with all of you. Just let it, yes. I hope all of you can see him. Dr. Pedro Costa Montero will be speaking on Invisalign not Invisalign, but aligner clean check. It's an honor for us to have him here. Thank you all for joining in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Have a great Sunday and stay safe.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the wishes.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, Soumya.